Hello, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on February 20th, 2026. But no matter when you click into this reading, especially if it's further down the road, whether that be a month, a year, or even further than that, there is a message here that your guides are trying to bring to you today and hopefully be able to guide you to your next step or wherever you may find that your next path is taking you. And I am excited for this reading. And if you want to go ahead and dive into it, I don't blame you. There's quite a bit of, curious energy that's going on. And I know this is probably something different that I normally wouldn't do, but I felt called to bring this here today, specifically with my tiles. And as I'm going ahead and getting the rest of the intro out of the way, happy birthday if today is your birthday, or if you do have something you want to celebrate today. Always here on this channel, I want my listeners to always find something that they, if you've accomplished something, celebrate it. If you have, you kicked a bad habit out of the way, celebrate it. But find things that are helping you become the best version of yourself and celebrate those milestones that you are meeting, if you will. And leading to the disclaimer part, I can only share personal experiences in whatever message that the guides, your ancestors, or your spiritual team, if you will, are revealing today. And as much as I would like to be able to give professional advice, I can only just share just that little bit of information. And you should only take what resonates with you today. So if you find that there is a message that is not clicking, or a part of this reading is no longer clicking for you, do not stress yourself over it. There's just certain pieces that were meant for other people. And like I like to say in my other readings, like you could be that channel frequency that your guides are using in order to reach another soul. So take the tool that is being given today and add it to your belt, so that way you can actually tap into your potential future and be even more successful with this information that is displayed today. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get started into the reading because I want to try to make sure I don't bore anybody's ears off. So without further ado, let's see what our astro energy is trying to reveal today. So we have Neptune, Dream and Transcend in Gemini again today. And I almost thought that I had rolled a dice spread that I had already rolled, but there's one key factor that's a little bit different. So we have Gemini, curiosity, intellect, and networking with the 6th house. The last time this energy came in, it was in the 3rd house. So this time it's in the 6th house. So establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and potential details. And let me just go ahead and kind of clarify some energy that's kind of going in our planetary systems right now. I woke up and seen that I had a whole bunch of very interesting, feed about this Neptune and Saturn conjunction that is going on in a very rare placement with Aries. And so there is so much that is going on in the world that is wanting to dissolve and show that there is some truth that needs to be, explained, or not even explained. It's the last time we've had some major energies, because this only happens every 36 years. This happened when the Berlin Wall tumbled down. So it's this, whatever is no longer a structure that is standing is now dissolving. So that way we can see from the rumble, or the rumble. Yeah, there is something that we need to have a rumble about, or make a sound or a noise about that. That way we can see if something is no longer true. We can move past, the lies and the fakeness and the BS, if you will, and start choosing what is right for us. And if we have a dream, we are no longer, putting a limitation on what we can achieve. We are actually putting it in the ground, so that way we can crystallize it and actually match with the frequency in which our soul is trying to, bring forth in this collective energy that's being displayed right now. And I love that. I love that walls are coming down. I love that we're questioning everything that we are seeing, even if it's coming from a very, true and, established source. We are thinking for ourselves and seeing, what is it that would make something truthful? Is it the evidence, or what is supplying the evidence? Is the evidence even true, or the people who provide that evidence? So I love this kind of energy, and it's very tricky, because with Aries, it's needing to take action right now. No longer, this isn't something that you want to hold on to. If you want to manifest something, think about whatever dream is not even something you can put down on the ground and be concrete with. Think about the dreams that you can actually do something with. And then you will find that as you are doing so, there are going to be so many other people around you that are doing that as well. But I had to get that off my chest because I thought that was so cool. Even my husband has been picking up on some very interesting things going on in his own work, just with the way, everyone is kind of reacting, or just how weird when people or individuals don't pick up on a specific energy that is going on, and it is like a fuel tank, and there's just a match waiting to strike. And then you will see all of this chaotic, people uncertain about, why am I feeling like this? Why am I going through this emotion where I feel like I need to break something down? It's like I need to come out of something. But let me go ahead and talk about Neptune in Gemini with the 6th house. So this is the kind of energy that is trying to make daily work much more spiritual through creative communication. And I'm going to go ahead and share some of the ways that you can do that today, where you can make work more spiritual, or just bringing a little bit more of your mystical side with you, even if you don't do tarot, or you're just someone that, is exploring all different types of religions or different types of practices. But one of those things you can do is just be very mindful and aware of where you are in this present moment, and visualize any kind of energy shift that you are wanting to hold for yourself, or the energy shift that you would like to have in your own home and work even. Another thing is practice gratitude, being thankful for everything in your life, being thankful for the structures that still stand, being thankful for the evidence that is true and helps you make decisions where you can be that sense of justice, where you can take anything that is in front of you and know what holds more weight versus what does not. And just be thankful for the people that really help you do this, or create balance in your life, or just being very grateful of just about anything and everything in your life. But setting intentions is another great thing to really help you be more spiritual in your daily life, and doing this especially before you're going to bed at night, so that way you already know what is the first goal or thing that I want to work on. And having intentional interactions with others, where you are practicing, okay, I want to have more respect for my coworkers. I want to have more love and compassion for my family. I want to be able to be more social and open and empathetic with new strangers. It's having those intentional interactions with not just yourself or people that you know, but having them with everyone that you come across. You may even find that creating a sacred space within your own home that has these physical reminders to let you know, let's take the dreams we're thinking about and remind us this is something we want to work on in our life. If you've been putting off on something, start now. That's one great way to start a really good habit, is either with a sticky note or like that sacred space, having an altar for you in your home, somewhere that is designated for you and whatever you want to channel, whatever energy you're kind of wanting to shift and bring in, create that for you today. And this can even be, if you don't have any like that anywhere in your home, maybe you have a very busy life or you share a space with a whole bunch of people, communing, going out and finding a space in nature, or even if that's your own car, make your car your sacred space if you have to. The earth is, a huge planet. So let's utilize the space and make something sacred today. And while you are doing that, incorporate small rituals. These can be prayers, a good time to meditate, where you are reading or reflecting and just finding ways to communicate with whatever benevolent energy that you are wanting to tap into to guide you today. And, so while you are doing this, breathe, pause, rest when you need to rest and not force yourself. And listen more to others. If you find that you speak a lot, especially with Gemini energy, maybe we can listen to one another with an actual open heart and ear, where we want to understand, where someone comes from, and understand how there are these pieces that are lining up that help us connect the dots. And it's not stopping at the first question and the answer. We are discovering, okay, with this answer we are having another question, and that's how we can bond better together with one another. But listen more, speak less. If you have been attached to something where you can't unplug, find ways to unplug so that way you can start reconnecting with your spiritual team, with your own world itself, if you have been living in autopilot mode. And you can even start seeing, even if when I worked in retail, I never thought that this is where I was going to go. But I would find that whenever I was channeling and doing messages for myself or even a coworker, I found that was one way I connected and provided a sense of service to another person, because I wanted to feel as if I was doing more than just what I was doing in this moment. But you can start seeing your work as a service. Think about the values that you have, or the values that your place of establishment where you find that your career is in, and see if you can start aligning yourself. Well, I'm doing this every day because I have a lot of respect for others, and that's what I would want for myself. Or I care about striving for, excellence. I want to be able to create a mold and make a better mold, and then an even better mold the next day. I want to be the best version of myself. And it can go on and on from there, but seeing how you can make work as an actual service that you want to provide, and to detach yourself from outcomes. Let outcomes go, because that is the one thing about the spiritual world and trying to predict the future or trying to make things more concrete. Nothing is ever set in stone. It's something that we have to work for and be in alignment with if we want to manifest anything in this life. So daily work and adaptable routines become more spiritual today with you. And this energy, because like I said, this is an energy that I am digging right now, that I want to tap into myself. So if you start to feel you are very restless and your mind is wandering and going down every rabbit hole possible, try to find ways to create what you are imagining in the present moment. And this is also a good time to practice boundaries, like practical boundaries with what you have coming in and what is allowed to pay rent in your mind. Neptune can talk about your dreams. So if you find that something is, not paying its rent, or you find that something is sabotaging your ability to create even more, then it's time to kick it and lose it, because we have a different wall that we're wanting to build, and the boundaries that we are trying to set need to be practical, where not just anyone can come in and knock us down. It makes me think of the three little pigs. What kind of, do you have a straw house, a a stone house. I can't even, or a stick house and a brick house. And then what can we do past the brick house? Well, we want a spiritual house today, guys. We don't want our spirit to be knocked down, because, you know, the wolf can sit outside all day long, and then eventually the little pigs are going to have to leave and get the things that they need for their home. So you got to be able to embrace the dangers that are out there in the world today, and not let, you know, the distractions or the anxiety and the doubts come knocking in at the door or follow us when we leave the house and then enter back in. But, you know, traditional workspaces may be really hard for people who have this energy coming in. And you may even find that when you try to do what everybody else does, your life is disorganized and you are not in alignment with yourself. So find jobs, careers, or hobbies and passions that are very flexible and very adaptable, and do this with the intention of being able to pay attention to your own health, because we do have the sixth house talking about health and communicating when our needs need to be met, or if we are wanting to be those caregivers ourselves, because we see that there's a healing touch that needs to be done in this lifetime. And we can see that there's so much scattered energy around us that we are wanting to kind of piece things back together and make people feel whole as an individual. So they come into the shop, and then we see what needs to be done on our bodies, and then we send them back out with hope that they're able to begin again, start something new, and, you know, find their own spiritual team, if you will. But let's think about our health and our well-being overall, and whether or not we are being very sensitive to the environment or sensitive to others. This is, if you start to feel like you're in a box and things are getting stuffy, let's find a way to get out of that box and find ways to, like I said, when I was talking about unplugging, when we start to feel the mental fatigue going on, and being very mindful, journal what's going on, journal these synchronicities that are coming through, journaling your dreams, journaling anything that needs to be worked on, and, you know, breathing while we are doing, making that mind and body connection. Now, this is something where you may find that your intellectualism or the idealism that you have want to be challenged. So you can ground those ideas into functional daily habits and avoid information overload. This is like changing things up. If you are someone that it's like you want to have a routine, but that routine needs to be able to change and mold based on whatever it is that you are carrying in that moment. So, like, if you are someone that says, well, I'm going to do this in the morning, sometimes you're going to need to do it in the afternoon or even in the evening. Sometimes you're going to need to take a break from it and maybe practice something else, depending on what may be making you feel stuffy. But I am so in love with this energy and the fact that it's wanting others to pay attention to the illusions that may be going on in their life. And if there's any kind of confusions that need to be addressed or cleared away, so that way you can have a compassionate approach to just daily service, not just to yourself, but to your spiritual team and others. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the crystal that's coming in to really help guide this energy and assist you. So we have the blue obsidian, expansive, divination, astral travel. Cool to the core, blue obsidian is created from a natural volcanic glass that has the ability to expand one's natural talents. Astral travel and envisioning dreams are protected and safe when you are using this crystal. A powerful divination stone, blue obsidian enhances psychic abilities and uncovers natural talents for the unknown. It clears away mental clutter and makes way for a clear channeling of intuitive messages, allowing you to focus on one message at a time. A natural healer, blue obsidian promotes circulation for your body and opens the aura to receive. I love that. And I'm going to go ahead and place that over here. All right. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and talk about the moonology behind it. Conclusions are within your reach. Whatever you are confused about, or whatever needs to be organized in your life, or whatever you need to do to create a practice so that way you can communicate your own needs or even create a network with others, conclusions are within your reach today. Now, with your divine masculine and feminine oracle today, we have two that want to be addressed. Check in with your intuition. What is your higher self telling you? What are you building? What is paying its rent? That just keeps repeating in my mind that something is no longer allowed to stay in your space and you're wanting to kick it out. Its resume or its application is no longer valid. Have you been able to express your creative side today? Yes. Creative communication today, guys. Creative energies that need to be expressed. But check in with your intuition and see what it's telling you. And then your self-love oracle is higher your vibration, turn on your favorite song. And this card comes out quite frequently. So my music listeners, my singers, my people who write poetry or create, turn on a song to help you create even more today. All right. And I did want to get an animal oracle. So today we have the oyster. And there's some treasure that is being buried deep within you. And this oyster is asking you, it's time to start sharing something. It's time to start sharing a gift or a talent that you have with the world that you have been keeping in the dark. Water signs, especially in this card specifically, they talk about our ability to express in our relationships, our love life, express our boundaries, and express our creativity. And we need a healthy stream of communication when we are talking about how we can express effectively. And this oyster is very patient, has an ability to keep secrets. This talked about tapping into the unknown. And I talked about it in another reading where, like, anytime spirit gives you a secret, and they don't share that with just anybody, you can keep it and only reveal it if you know that it was meant to be channeled to another person. But you are a secret keeper. You are keeping a secret hidden away from those that would try to take it and misuse it. And you know, I did say hiding inner treasures. So think about those treasures that you have and how you can use that in order to stay more focused and determined, where you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. If you are someone that is usually very shy or doubtful, or you withdraw in order to protect your own desires or the life work that you spend a lot of time in, as long as you have a healthy boundary, then you should be able to share that so you can connect and learn from another person who has a similar talent like you do. But what are you hesitating to share? What's something that you do want to share, but you are hesitating? And why are you hesitating? Is it because of the people you are around? Or is it that it's just not something you would normally share where you currently are, or where you are working, or who you are with, if you will? But I love this oyster because within oysters, we can find those pearls, those rare pearls that everybody is seeking. And you are the one that has the most rarest of them all. And so take advantage of having that secret today, guys. Now, I love my mushroom deck cards. I really do, because I love mushrooms and I love the symbolism behind them all. Now, the Three of Cups is in reverse, but I just want y'all to be able to see the artwork. And let me go ahead and talk about the stalked Scarlet Cup, which is the Three of Cups. There is a need to kind of step away from the world and have a little bit more independence, where you are not depending on another source or another person who has not been feeding you the right information. And the reason I say that is because we have the piggyback rose gill. Now I'm understanding why I even talked about the three pigs, because I had this and I forgot I was the piggyback rose gill. But I love those synchronicities, guys. So the piggyback rose gill is, and I will talk about the stalked scarlet cup, but the piggyback rose gill is a fungus that feeds on another fungus. It's basically where one person's waste becomes another's sustenance. And you are probably able to find treasures in the most unlikely places and do something with them. And it's like, oh, this is trash. And then you're like, I can turn that into a $500 fortune if I wanted to. But this is like hearsay. It makes me think of when someone tells you something, where is that even coming from? Or when you're trying to make a decision for yourself, or whether or not there are people in your life that should even, be celebrating with you or drinking from your cup or drinking from someone else's cup, if you will. It's like, where are you getting your information from? And why do you feel like I need to carry that information as if it's my own and I need to believe what it is that I am hearing? And this Three of Cups can be talking about stifled creativity due to the need to conform to a group mindset. If you are at work and you are on a project team or anything that has to do with creating something, whether that be in media or your own content creating, and everybody's like, well, this is what we want the vision of this task we are trying to complete to look like, or these are our values and this is how we want our team to look. But it's not what you want. Or you may even have friends that are like, well, if you want to hang with us, this is what we do in our own life. And it's like, we can't really have you here if, you are, you know, not participating. It's almost like peer pressure is what it feels like. It's like peer pressure to fit in with, society, with your friend group, with your family even. And this could be, when you are around people who have went down a different path, or you start to feel as if you are crowding others. So it's like you had something that was very precious to you, and then all of a sudden you closed the shell down because something is amiss, something is feeding off another, and it's not a safe situation anymore to just open up and share. It's like someone's going to take or steal my own ideas if I start to share them. But the stalked scarlet cup is known to be like an elf or a fairy cup or a bath even. And it even talks about hidden treasures as well, because it's very hard to find, but it is very rewarding when you do find them, just like friends or people that you can connect with. So your spirit guides are wanting you to find your own fairy cup, your own fairy bath, if you will, of friends that you can share, good memories with, or, have, even if everyone has different ideas or opinions, at least being able to share your ideas in a safe place matters. But this card also talks about hope and renewal, and it shows up in the late of winter usually. But think about where you can go to find these very rare friends that are meant to come into your life and see the pearl that you've been hiding this entire time. Now, the Two of Swords can talk about a very difficult decision that you were trying to weigh, and you may even find that you may be avoiding these people or anybody that is trying to ride on your back or take advantage of you in this moment. And See what has an intense relationship with you or is a parasitic host, if you will. But this is a good card, I will say, when you are trying to emerge from another form of some kind. It's like the mushroom that you were before is no longer serving you, and now you are taking all of the energy that you had to build this and transferring it in a much more different form or plant, even, if you will. So like it's like you were turning it into something completely different. They are two different fungus or fungi. But you're trying to be very clear with those that are around you. You're trying to set those boundaries, and you're trying to make hard decisions that align to you and don't force you to conform to others. Now, the Hierophant is the turkey tail, and it's trying to help you create a bridge to the spiritual realm and have a healthy attachment where you can channel guidance and find the need to balance your own energy when you need to. And even this card can talk about enhancing your immune function, even because it's been used in medicinal practices, over thousands of years. So, and I will say this energy up here with Neptune and Gemini in the 6th house, paying attention to, any kind of respiratory issues that you may have, or if you're not someone that can just do what normal people can do. Like I always like to use myself as an example for this. I can't just do normal workout routines. I have asthma. And if I tried to, I would just put myself further behind on where I want to be. And it would be unmotivational at that point for me to keep pursuing. So I have to find different types of work routines that I can do, or healthy routines that I can do in consistent intervals over a spread out time, rather than doing it in all one go, like if someone were to go to the gym. So be mindful of what works for you in your body, especially if you like holistic practices or foraging for your own medicine. And that may be a source of information that's coming out where everybody's so used to going to the store and buying medicine off the side counter, and it's got so many different types of ingredients in it, and you're like, well, that's bad for me, that's bad for me, that's bad for me. And everyone's like, why do you just take it? It's medicine, just take it. And you're like, I don't want to take the same medicine that everybody's taking, because look at everybody. Why would I want to be like everybody? So you may be foraging and looking for your own medicinal pouches, if you will. So that way you don't have to piggyback off of someone else's elixir, if you will. Now, your affirmations confirming each card. I am abundant. Even when you have to leave a friendship behind or leave a connection that makes you feel as if you are the one that is too much, you are still abundant, and there are other connections that are trying to come into your life that want to, but so long as you are around people who try to, that peer pressure is coming in, that try to make you piggyback off of their own example. They won't come in until you let something dissolve. The 2 of Swords is, I am fearless. Any decision that you make, you're going to make it with courage and not worry about the outcome. You're going to be detached from those outcomes, and what happens, happens. But at the end of the day, it's you that's sticking to your own guns here. The Hierophant is, I am playful. I'm playful with the system. I am playful with experimenting what is in society. If I know something no longer has value in my life, then I know that I need to let it go or rebel against it, especially if there are false truths about what it is. But that is your reading, my dears. I know it was very lengthy, but I loved I love this energy and all the planetary systems that are, in conjunction right now. So find things that can help you create today. Think about those structures that need to be dissolved and the relationships that are around you that may even need to be removed, and focus on what are you piggybacking on, or who is piggybacking on you, and find ways to create your own identity today. But that is your reading, my dears. I hope y'all have a blessed day. And if you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know how it resonates, guys. That's really, I just want to know who I'm channeling to and if it's resonating to you. I just hope that it's making a difference. Bye.